Good everyone, so this is a makeup video for the exercise the lab we were trying out in class yesterday. Okay, so let's just jump quick to action. Access the lab. Okay, so let's just open this to save time as that is loading for the candidate username and passwords. Okay, all right, then we try to log in because that's the lab goal. So solve the line, a valid username, but first this user's password, then access the account. So it's to log in. Okay, all right, and we have the login page here. So I'm heading to my Bob now. So I'm going to clear the history that I have there. Okay, so let me just try to split the screen. Discard. Okay, let me forward my request to Bob. I think okay. I'm trying to fit my screen. I don't know. Okay, no. I'm just forwarding this. Bring this down. Yes, perfect. Okay, so let's just send the catch request and we log in. So we're going to grab it here and we immediately can just confirm that like quati. So I'm going to send this to the repeater. Okay, so since we have this login username and password, so we've tried once, or let's even try that out so see what it looks like. So that's some kind of like protection. So we sent a request and with bad credentials. Okay, so if I send, we should get invalid whatever, right? And we send again, which is the third time now. All right, so let's try the fourth time. All right, so you have too many incorrect attempts because of the protection. So if you try multiple bad credentials or that doesn't match, you get blocked for 30 minutes. Okay, so we can just include the X forwarded 4. Okay, we can include, so just going to okay, so let's just use 1. We want to change it, so we are changing the sender now, the IP. This is an invalid IP. We could have used like 1.1.1.1. I can change each octet and start changing from this place. But let's just stick to this since we know it's invalid, but we don't know what an IP address is, right? So it's an invalid IP address, so we're going to use this. So this would actually trick the web app, but okay, I think this is a new IP address. So let's try to send and let's see the request that we get. Okay, so you can see we have invalid username and password. So if we send this again, invalid username and password, and one more time invalid, and last time boom. Okay, so you can switch the second one like 2. You can try that out for 2. You can send. All right, so enough for that. Now let's see how this application handles the post requests. Okay, so you can see username quati password. So let's just try to like increase. So you can see the previous one we have 287 milliseconds. Okay, so it said that the way this operates the login details, if the username is correct, then it proceeds to the password. Now the length of the password actually reveal a lot to us because that's one of the aspects, because we know that okay, since you can go through the correct username, that will take like enough time compared to if you provided a wrong username or the one that is not correct. It's very short because it knows, oh, this is not going through, so it doesn't even need to check for the password. But this one, If the username is correct, it goes through the username, then proceeds to the password. Then so let's affect it with length. Let's just try to increase this. QWERTY. I'll just copy. I'll paste multiple times. I don't want it to take a long period of time. But it should take a long period of time now because QWERTY is not the correct username. I think we're given winner. We're given winner. Okay, so let's just try to set, and let's notice the milliseconds. Okay, so that took enough time. Okay, 304. Smooth. Let me check. I think let me make a mistake with it. Let me check again. Just need to confirm. Okay, so I was wrong with the username. Okay, so we can just is winner, not winner. Okay, so I'll just position and let's send. So I believe this would have exceeded the number of times. So let me just try to increase it to just 3. Okay, so let's send and let's see the number of. Okay, so yes, all right. You can see the time. So this is that thing. You can see the response time. The response received, like the time is like too long, about 2+. So let's just try to change this to something that is a very wrong one. Let me use admin, or let me use lab. Let me use something like that. Okay. All right. So let's send and let's see. You can see it's dropped. Okay, so that means it didn't even bother to move to the password form to check. It just say it saw admin. Oh no, this is not the guy. So that's what happened. Okay, so what we are doing now is we're iterating this, and we iterate this with the password. We brute force this with the list provided to us on the lab, right? So we can just, we can't do that in the request. We can just send it to the repeater. Sorry, the intruder rather. Okay, okay. So don't forget, if there's just one attack or one payload, as when a single payload, then you just get to use the sniper attack. So let's just switch this to pitchfork allocated payload. Okay. Then X factor. X favored X favored 4. All right, so I believe we've used 3 ones, right? So we can still use it actually, but we can just add payload marker to this, and we brute forcing this. Okay, and we move on to our payload position. So let me just grab the username that we have already. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to copy this. Okay, then we set it to the second payload now. So second payload, specify that I wrote admin there. I will set it in class. Even if let me see if I can change it to I can't, but if I try to put admin, you can see it reflects there. Okay, so admin and same post list, yes, and we paste what we copy there. All right, so you can see we have payload count. Please take note of this. That's the all right, payload count is 101, right? I believe that's what we have for that too. All right, and we set the first one to be numbers, right? We set it to numbers. You can see it's indicating that we had 3, right? So set it to numbers, and now number range. Exactly, this is where the miscalculation came from. So number range, so let's say we said this 3. I know that. Okay, we won't use 3, so let's switch to like 4, but don't forget the payload count. Okay, so 4 to our payload count I checked there was 101, right? So I put 101 here, it won't, you can see it's 98 payload count that we have here, but the payload count must match whatever we have in here. So the other time that we loaded, let's check what we had here. we had 101 payload count, so it must match the request count. So you understand. Okay, so let me just switch this back to, okay, so 101 plus 1, so I believe that will be like 105. So let's see. Okay, so oh no 102, so let's just drop to 104. Yes, so that gave us something. All right, so it should work out like this. So let's see what we have. Second one, offset, and let's start attack. Okay, start attack. Okay, so we are looking for a different response received, right? So we can just filter here 202. Is huge, and again, it doesn't have to be like 40 gates, as long as it's different and it stands out. I mean, maybe it's unique from other response received, you're good to go. So it doesn't have to be like too big like that all the time. So this is 2605. So you can see it stands out. The payload username, I will try the payload 5, and is root. Okay, so this root, I'll go back to my intruder, and the next thing I want to do now is we log in as that root, and let's just change the username to root here. Okay, then we add payload marker around it, and this is too much, but do we care? Let's still use it. We add payload marker, but it will just be too long in the payload position. I still don't care. Okay, so did I mark roots? Why? No, I didn't do that intentionally. So we clear this. All right, so we have to get them set to page 4. All right, now we'll come back to our numbers, and for the previous one, we did from 4 to 103. That's correct. Okay, so it stopped at 40 here. All right. Which one was this one again? Okay, I don't know this. This is not parts. Okay, so for the first one, we did from 4 to 10. What's that? I think 103 or something like that. Okay, so let's first load the second payload. Let's put something there. Simple is to go back to our admin password. Yeah, that was a mistake. This thing should be able to copy one now. Ah, I can just control it. Let me see if it works. Ah, no, that's too much. This is I'll grab that. I'm okay, and we cleared the former one. Okay, so paste this in here. Alright, so you can see the payload count is 100. Alright, so let's pick it up from this place. Now the last one that we did, you can see it's 101 here, so we have to set it to be 100 too. But then before we do that, we used from 4 to 103 the other time, so we have to start from 104. Okay, so 204. We sum it to the payload position that we have here. Okay. Alright, so that's, you can see they're not matching, so let's just fix that. So 203. Alright. So let's check this out. Okay, so we are looking for a redirection. Okay, Okay, very good, and we got it. You can say the password. All right, so all we need to do is go back to the, I can just open this windows. Let's open it first. You can just double click this so you can confirm this root password. Some points, and we can just send to the repeater to confirm things out. Okay. Root password. So if I send this, let's send, and let's check the response. Okay, you can see we got a 302 response, and we can actually render understandable. So you can just follow your directions, and here we are. So let's check. Okay, so give us this. That's not a big deal. We can actually just copy request in browser in original session. Copy this, go to our browser, loading this, now we paste this here, and let's see what we have. Okay, was it before? Okay, I think it was because we follow the direction. How do we get to that? How do we do about that? Let me check it out again. Going back. Go back here. Okay. So can we actually request this in browser? This logout. Or let's just log in here. I'm even doing root and password. Okay, something is up. Sure. Okay, I think I copied something. Alright, so we are logged in. We're good to go. Okay, so that's just it. Easy peasy. Alright, sorry again about the thing. Okay, so you can just, if you have any question, you can reach out to me. Bye.